Hello and welcome to Licensed to Thrive, Navigating Shortcuts and Mentoring for Women Entrepreneurs. I'm Fran Asaro, and this is the Communication is Key series where better communication skills improve relationships and results. Today's segment is on Act, Don't React. So the question is, do you act or react? Reacting is when you respond to external stimulus or stimuli, emotionally or physically. Acting is when you perform based on a conscious choice. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. And I'm going to share 5 tips on how to act instead of react in just a few moments. So what happened? Did someone tell you some bad news? Did someone ask something of you that you didn't want to do? Did your partner ask for a divorce? Did your child tell you that she's pregnant? Did someone hurt someone you love? Did you lose your job? Were you cut off by another driver? Well, it's inevitable. Negative situations happen. So who are you in the face of adversity? Do you yell and scream? Do you get physical? Do you shut down? Do you shut people out? Do you take it out on someone else? Or do you abuse a substance to escape? Well, I'm here to tell you that you weren't born knowing how to communicate effectively. We learned that from those around us. And we observed and we made choices about following our role models. We behaved based on what we thought was right and what we were taught or observed. We used that information based on what served us. And given a different set of circumstances, we would communicate in a whole different way. Now, sometimes reacting serves us. So if you receive some good news or if you accomplish something terrific, and when you celebrate something or are being celebrated, or whenever you have a reason to feel joy and enthusiasm, that's a wonderful reason to react. Did you know that you have a choice? When I first learned the distinction of acting versus reacting, I instantly preferred to be composed and in control of my emotions instead of losing it all the time, which I did. I hated what I must have looked like to those around me and how I felt so out of control from the inside out. I also felt that people avoided telling me things because they thought I couldn't handle it or I was upset all the time. They didn't want to get me upset and they didn't want to hurt me. I wanted to be more than that to others and to myself. So remember, acting versus reacting is a communication technique that can help with your professional and personal relationships. People will perceive you as having emotional maturity when you act, which brings them closer, opposed to creating separation because they don't want to communicate with you. And think about the people in your life who are reactors and how you might be avoiding conversations with them for the very same reason. So, as I told you before, here are some of the tips on how to act instead of react. The first one is to pause and breathe. Sounds pretty simple, and we may not see the importance of it until you finally do it, because reacting is when we don't pause. We actually react emotionally, physically, verbally, and if we just took a moment and said, let's pause and breathe, that's an act, not a reaction. And then you want to decide who you want to be in the face of this situation. Do you want to be in control? Do you want to be composed? Do you want to be compassionate, understanding? It depends on the situation and who you're speaking with. You want to gain perspective. Your gain control or awareness of your emotions versus the facts and the ratio. You want to listen and you want to ask questions. And then consider which approach will bring you the better outcome. Will reacting cause separation or partnership? So for instance, if your child comes to you and has something serious they want to discuss with you, a difficult conversation, let's say, do you want to be approachable? Or do you want to be somebody who reacts and they feel bad and they don't feel like they want to come to you whenever they have something difficult in the future? This is really important, is you want to feel free to request time to process the information. If you don't feel equipped at that moment, it's very acceptable to say, you've given me this information, I appreciate it. I want to process this so that I can come back with a sense of participation. So if you can give me till tomorrow or whatever you feel is important, then let them know you are thinking about it and we'll come back to it. And during that time, you can journal about it or talk to a friend or a professional, meditate, take a walk. Any stress reducing technique that you might use, you can apply in this area as well. So just want to remind you that this takes practice. If you've been a reactor for your entire life, be patient with yourself. It's something that you will get better at. So let's go back to where we were in the beginning. Do you act or react? Well, remember, reacting is responding to external stimulus, emotionally or physically. So are you somebody who yells, throws, tantrums? Do you shut down, or do you have overt disapproval? Or acting, when you perform based on a conscious choice. So are you processing data, deciding who you want to be and how you want to handle the situation, whether it be logic or controlled emotions? You decide. If you prefer to act instead of react, you can role play with yourself or someone else on how you will handle things differently by bringing in different types of situations and seeing how you can talk about them and react to them or act to them. If you're ready to make these changes, I assure you that others will notice and you will receive a different response from them. Prepare to be pleasantly surprised, as you will be surprising others. So I wish you good luck. In the meantime, if you want to receive more information on tips for women entrepreneurs, and right now we're doing a communication series, then subscribe to this channel for License to Thrive and hit the bell so that you will be notified when new videos come out. And also, likes and comments really help. If you're having success with some of these tips, I'd love to know about it, and so would other people who are watching. So thank you for being here.